Evening, welcome to Cart Gap. So we've done a couple of videos here before, but back with Norfolk Angling Club for the next instalment. But there's a really keen easterly blowing. We got 32 anglers I think booked in for this one. So what we're going to catch I do not know. We did autumn and spring. No, we didn't. We did autumn and winter, and now it's obviously spring, so hopefully there'll be a few fish about. But yeah, shallow sandy beach, but I think there's a gully out there, so there'll be enough water to fish in. And high tide's about 6:45, something like that, and we're fishing 7:30 till 10:30, so we'll be fishing the tide down. But that easterly wind might play havoc with the sport, but you never know. But just out of interest, if anyone wants to know a bit more about the beaches in Norfolk and how they fish and so on, David Sycamore, who fishes these matches, he's got a channel called East Angling, and he usually visits these beaches the day before we fish the match, so he's got a bit of time on his hands. So yeah, if you're interested, have a look at see what's on offer on his channel, and hopefully it complements this one quite well. So if you're interested in fishing in Norfolk, give him a look. But yeah, tonight with 32 anglers booked in, so there'll be a lot of beach covered, so let's see what happens. Well, draw's just about to take place. A slight error from me, there's actually 34 booked into this, so that's pretty massive on a Monday night with an easterly wind. But so some really good anglers as well, so it's going to be interesting. I didn't do the last week's one, that was at Yarmouth, but Kevin Green won that. He's only fished a couple of times with us, so he's hit the ground running. So well done, Kevin. Hope to see a lot more of you. And yeah, all the usual suspects are there. John's little Jack Russell and Gus the dog is over in the background. So yep, I'll draw my peg and I'll meet you on the beach. Right, here we go. Look at that lot. One of our best turnouts ever. So brilliant to see. And even a couple of juniors as well. Well, as you can see, I've drawn peg 23. So if my memory serves me right, this is exactly the same peg I fished in that autumn match, which is also, there's a video there somewhere. But yeah, and next to me is, as chance would have it, I was mentioning his channel earlier, that's David Sycamore on my left hand side, and as I pan round there's a groin immediately to my right, so I'm going to have to be a bit careful of that. And we've got Andy Turk just over there on the other side, but the tide should be running right to left, so as long as I cast fairly straight I should be able to keep out of trouble. There's a nice little bit of surf there. It looks ideal for a bass, but probably a bit early in the year. You never know though. I'll be trying for it. But yeah, as I said at the start, there are some good anglers here, there's no doubt about it, but really friendly bunch. And there's a few that have never sort of done a lot of sea fishing, but everyone's here to help. So if you forget your match ruler or your bucket, you're not going to court and getting prosecuted. It's we'll all help you. So yeah, all good. So we got about half an hour, so I'm going to set up, and looking at that sea, I think I will set up some sort of 3-hook trace just to see if I can get a whiting or something. But I've also got the 1 up 1 down favourite, and after dark that might tempt a dogfish or something. But whatever happens, I'll be trying until the last cast, which is and we finish at 10:30. So if you haven't seen this channel before and you can't understand why you're getting so excited about the prospect of watching some people sea fishing, this is what it's all about. So we'll really like it. Easterly wind, freezing cold or no easterly wind, at least it's not sleeting and snowing and raining, and there is a chance of catching something, so we'll give it a go. Bait wise tonight, we're going down nice big black juicy lugworms, blow lug they are, and going to tip it off with stripper squid. I'll cut him up in a minute. But yeah, and as I was setting up, I thought, oh, what's the point of scratching around for so many people here fishing. You've got to catch some bonus fish if you've got any chance, so I'm going on a 2-hook flapper and probably launch it out there as far as I can to start with. But in a minute we'll wander along and we'll see what they're doing around me. But you never know, it's all a guessing game really. You just got to make the right decisions, and if you do, you do all right. But lovely bit of sea. That month's time, that'll be well worth coming down here for a bass or some smooth hounds or something. But not a beach I regularly fish, so I don't really know anything about it. So, but you can but try. Evening, Andy.
Come see how it's done wrong, have you?
Well, not really. You know your stuff, don't you? What's the tactics?
Well, tonight I'm going to go for a dogfish.
Dogfish?
Possibly a ray, hopefully.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see a fawnback or two. I gather there was a couple at Yarmouth last week.
Yes, so
fingers crossed.
We'll have a go, and if not, back to the scratching.
Well, you're well organised, much better than me. 34 here tonight, can't believe it, can you? It's like a little open match.
Well, as just said that to Ian.
Yeah, outstanding, isn't it?
Yeah.
But much better than turning up when there's about 6 or 7 of you, which was the case a few years ago.
Yeah,
so.
And there's some good quality anglers here as well. Some
yeah,
top
no.
quality anglers.
Yeah, no.
So.
Really hard to win, isn't it? But you know, if you can do well, you know, you just got to keep trying.
If you can get in the top half of a match like tonight, I think you're doing well.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, lovely bit of sea. I think in a month's time, that's bass all over, innit? But we'll see. I'm going down the dogfish route, but yeah, well, I've got the same problem. But tide should be going right to left, so and it's ebbing, so hopefully we'll be able to avoid it. They're not very big tides, are they? So we'll see.
Another half an hour and we'll be halfway down.
Yeah, soon gets away, doesn't it? Good luck, mate.
And you too.
We ain't got long for the off now, so I'll just wander along. David, evening.
Evening, Pete. How are you doing?
All right, mate. What's the score then? What we doing?
I don't know.
3-hook flapper.
We've been here before.
Yeah.
And the bass showed up. If
Yeah.
they show up today, I'll be very surprised. I'm starting off on a scratching rig, a 3-hook flapper, and I've got this one clipped. Go a little bit further out just in case, but
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
definitely going to start on a scratching gear.
yeah. Well, I'm doing the opposite. I'm going for broke. So, if you start doing all right, then I'll have to emulate you. But I like.
Likewise. I've got a big fish rig to emulate your one if you start doing well again. Like
Couldn't believe it in the car park though when we rocked up and there's 34.
35.
Well, that's only getting better and better, isn't it?
Exactly,
So.
yeah. And as the good weather now turns up, I think it'll get even better.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Well, I've got to get back. I've got a cup of coffee to down before I stick that in the water.
Yeah, good luck, Pete.
Cheers, mate. So that's what it's going to look like. So if I was a dogfish or a whiting or a bass, I'd have that. So I'm just going to chuck it out there and see what happens. Main thing is you have a good evening. But David next to me's had a probe about with a weight, and I've got to probably do the same in a bit. But well, I've only got a couple of minutes left, so I'm probably not. But he reckons that's clean sand, so that's not bad. So we should get our gear back as long as I can avoid that groin. Yeah, onwards and upwards. Lovely to be down here in daylight. It's obviously going to get dark in a bit, but first few casts are going to be in daylight, and that's going to give me the opportunity to see what's going along the beach, and that hasn't happened for several months. Although the wind chill tonight makes it feel like the middle of winter, but it's nice to see the nights pulling out. Lovely rolling surf. And as I say, if that has be a few degrees warmer, the sea, I'm sure there'd be some bass in that. And there might even be one tonight, so let's hope so. First caster's gone out there, and I reckon that's gone about 65 yards. Nice little lob out, just past the end of that groin really, so good starting place I reckon. But yeah. So you can watch that rod tip all you like. As soon as you pour a cup of coffee or something, that's when it'll knock over. But sea match fishing is a little bit misunderstood, because you've got 3 hooks. You're allowed to use 3 hooks, 1 rod at a time, and often if there's a few small fish about or whatever, they don't even register. But you're fishing with 3 hooks, and you can catch 3 fish at a time, so it's worth just leaving it out there. If on the other hand you get a smooth hound or a bass or something nice, that rod will just lurch over, and then obviously you've got to respond to that. But the waves and a bit of weed all move the rod tip about. It's just about reading what's happening. But yeah, I don't really talk about fishing tackle and that sort of stuff. I just use a 13-foot rod and that's capable of casting 6 ounces. I've got 15-pound main line, 60-pound shock leader, and I use a old fixed ball reel that came from my ex-father-in-law, who's a brilliant carp angler, but he got rid of them to my brother and I bought them off him, and they've been chugging away for years. But there's a lot of people in this club that know a lot about fishing tackle, so far more than I do, and I haven't got very much of it, so just love going fishing. But yeah, nothing's took that on the drop as soon as it hit the seabed, but it's sitting out there nicely. Weed hasn't dragged it round onto the beach. That pinged up there a bit, but that's just a wave breaking on the line. But yeah, once the all-in sounds, they're all lobbed it out there, and when it gets dark, I'm sure there'll be a few fish about, if not in daylight. Not much daylight left, but I'm able to just see what Andy's doing. I'll peer over this groin and see if he drags anything out. No, not that time. So I blanked on the first cast, and so did everyone around me, and the baits look pretty much as he probably sent them out there, so that's not a good sign. That easterly wind's got a lot to answer for, but you never know. Once it gets dark, anything can happen. All these beaches fish much better in the dark, and we're fishing the ebbing tide as well, so what's out in front of you can change dramatically. But it's going to be a nice clear evening, cold. Lovely bit of surf running, but as yet no fish to report. Just getting dark. Hope you can see this, but that rod tip's not moved. Hour and a half gone, and I've caught nothing. Next door, David's had a tiny little dab, but we're fishing to size limits, so that don't count. And to my right, Andy, I saw him bring a little whiting up, scratching tactics, so but that was only a little tiny thing, so that's no good either. So I don't think I'm doing anything wrong by just trying for those better fish. Hopefully they're there. I know you've got to fish for what's there and not for what you hope's going to be there, but when there's so few fish about, it's only going to take a couple of dogfish similar to Munsley and you're right up there. But yeah, so we'll stick at it, certainly for the time being, until something happens. It might just be this section nothing's getting caught in. It might be better along the other way, but no way of knowing that. But yeah, nice clear sky, beautiful bit of sea, just a vicious easterly wind. I think first to strike might be David on the next peg. We've got a bass. See how long he is. Oh, I'll get that light.
Just 36. I think that's just one short. I will check.
Yeah, make sure. That could be it. Could be on the card there, David. Nice to see a bass this time of year, isn't it? So hopefully there'll be a few more there. Well, it was nice to see David get a sizable bass. Well, it's not sizable, they've got to be 42 to keep for the table. For our match purposes, they have to be 36, and that one was, so well done to him. But I've just reeled in and I think I've got a 26 centimetre whiting. I will measure it to make sure, but he looks suspiciously like one to me. But we're back on the orange bucket after I couldn't find the white one or the green one, so orange it is. But as it's got dark, apparently at least there's a couple of fish kicking around, so all to play for. Well, it's always sad when things don't go to plan, So all I've managed since I last saw you, and it's now about 9 o'clock, so is one little whiting. So it's tragic. Wind's picked up. It was supposed to calm down, someone said, but that's not been the case, so it's absolutely freezing. And yeah, I'm trying desperately to get a bass or a dogfish. There's not much coming out round me, so I don't know what else to do really. Keep plugging away, I suppose. Not long left now. One little whiting, that's all I've managed since I last saw you, and there he is. But to be honest, I'll be glad to get up in the car park and warm up. It's been a cold, hard old night. There have been a few fish caught, a couple of dabs, that bass next to me, but generally it's been hard, and I think we'll find out in the car park that that's been the case all the way through the match length. But we have good nights and we have tough nights, but if nothing happens in the next half hour, we'll go up in the car park and we'll find out the results and stuff. And then next week we are going to Kelling Beach, so a nice bit of deep water up there, so hopefully there'll be a few of everything up there. So anyway, if nothing happens, I'll see you in the car park. Well, no one can say I'm not persistent, so on the last cast, 1 minute left, I've pulled in a 27cm whiting, which is big enough for me not to blank. So happy days, but surely it must be better next week. See you in the car park.
34 tonight. What a brilliant turnout. Thank you very much. Superb result.
Right. What started off as a great expectations night, with everybody catching, based on the last couple of weeks, what wasn't the best of nights. So congratulations to all those who caught, and people like me who didn't catch. Never mind, you're in good company, because there's lots of us.
We won't name them.
We won't name them because we'll be here for the next 24 hours. Right, results. Joint 5th with 3 fish 52, Jack Topping, and would you believe it, Michael Topping.
Well done, boys.
The
Keep
Topping
it the family.
I like it. Well, love to see what they talk about at breakfast. Right, in 4th position, the man of the moment, with his mojo back intact, John Spalton.
Whee!
3 fish 56. Are you sort of going to do an EDP feature on him? Right, in 3rd position, Tom Gibbs.
Well done, Tom.
2 fish 63. In 2nd position, John Catchpole. 5 fish 91.
Well done, JC.
And that leaves a stunning first performance, and I've got no light. 2 fish with 96 points, Dwayne Lockwood.
Well done, Dwayne. Becoming a habit.
Right. Right, biggest flat of the night. A 29cm flounder. Who's that? Rob Ford.
Well done, Rob.
Is that from McCummins on the way home?
Well, they want to go that way, but it's a long way round.
And biggest round, a 58cm dog, Dwayne Lockwood.
Well done, Dwight.
Well, mate, you're making this into a business. Well done.
Well done, Dwayne.
We've got
Better to be looking than good. Better to be looking than good. Do you want to share this?
How much is that?
There you go, mate.
Hell. There you go.
Good old Dwayne.
Right, so well done everybody. Full report will be out in the morning. next week's match is at Kelling. It's planned to be a cup match, so I don't know who won the last Jock Booty trophy.
Who's me?
Nathan.
2 years running.
2 years running. Well, can you hand it back?
If you haven't melted it down.
Dwayne won it.
And we're going to rename it anyway, the Barry Trophy, Barry Iserton Trophy. So that'll be done in August, but I would like it back, Nathan, if you wouldn't mind.